Thank you everyone for coming to this 99-year leasehold program rulemaking community and stakeholder meeting. Folks who are on Zoom, would you just introduce yourself, please?
Oh,
And then-
not on.
Okay, then I'll come back and we have in the audience here in-person participation. Could you introduce yourself for the record?
Craig Rob, HHFBC. Randy Chu, HHFBC.
Brian Tammy, HCDA.
And I'm Deepak Nirvani with HCDA, and I am
Craig Nakamoto, Executive Director of CDA.
And Francie Murray. Online, we have Tom Xiao.
Hi, Tom.
Hey Deepak, hi.
Jacob.
Just tuned in to see what's coming up, what's happening.
Yeah, then let me start with my short presentation. I believe we had a copy of Act 97 posted on HCDA website, so that provides you with more detail about the program. What I have here is a summary of the program and also that I'm focusing mostly on rulemaking. So the 99-year leasehold condominium program was established by Act 97 in 2023, about a year ago. And for the purpose to facilitate the development of low-cost leasehold residential condominium units for sale to Hawaii residents on non-ceded state-owned land near public transit stations. That was the main goal of that is the main goal of the program. The program authorizes HCDA to sell the leasehold interest in residential condominium units located in state lands for lease terms of 99 years. The Act authorizes one project for now, non-ceded lands within urban redevelopment sites selected by the HCDA. And it provides funding for some pre-development work like site selection, and pre-development work and the development side, and also adoption of administrative rules and community engagement like this. So now, just getting into a little bit of rulemaking part of it, it requires the buyers to be qualified residents as defined in the statute. Requires buyers of these units to be owner occupants. It prohibits owners of interest in any real estate, residential or non-residential real properties, while the person or the household is owner of the condominium. And it prohibits rental or subleasing of the units, and it provides HCDA the first right of refusal if the owner sells the unit. Allows for a transfer of the condominium unit to qualified heirs of the owner, where owners provide some exemptions on owner occupancy depending on family situations and things like that. And if HCDA doesn't exercise buyback, then it can be sold at market. And it requires HCDA to adopt administrative rules for the sale of the units. And that's one of the main reasons that we are here for a rulemaking process, because HCDA is working on redevelopment. We have retained a developer who has worked previously in Kakahaku and an affordable housing project for this work, pre-development work. And if the pre-development work is successful and the project is feasible, we'll be selling the units, and we need to have rules in place. Also, the Act requires HCDA to promulgate rules on adopting penalties for households violating the requirements of the program. So status, we are, the HCDA board approved in past May for administrative rulemaking. Today they're holding the first community meeting to gather perspective from the community on this type of housing product, housing development. And after today, the HCDA staff will be working in developing a draft administrative rules, which will share with the community and hold another community meeting, maybe in, maybe 2 months, takes that much time. And after that, after the second community meeting, we will bring it to the board and then request the board to authorize going out for public hearing for adoption of the rules. And by HCDA statute, it requires 2 public hearings to adopt rules. So that's all I have to share in terms of summary for the program and all. If there are questions and perspectives from the community members, we can spend the rest of the time discussing the program, so to speak, and the project too, I guess, to some extent. Any questions, Tom? What happened? Tom dropped out?
I'm sorry, no, I have no questions, just listening for information, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Anyone else in Zoom remotely participating? We'll wait another 5 minutes to see if anyone is going to participate in person, publicly, or
Lee Kramer is also on.
Oh,
or the camera.
he has a question.
Hi, Lee, did you just join the meeting?
Aloha, everyone. Oh, I must have hit my raised hand by accident. I don't have any comments at the moment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lee.
Thanks, Steve. Needed, that's it.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
on.
I'm good.
These requirements of the fourth, within the act,
Requirement of what?
it's requirements.
Yeah, those are that, yeah, it is that, it came from that.
There's no income cap.
There is no income limit. Though in the statute is, there is no income qualification. And also, there is no requirement, so to speak, on pricing too. I think the only guideline in pricing is that it has to be revenue neutral to the state as much as possible. So, and it says that HCDA may require, the language is may require 50% of the units to be affordable at 140% or below of AMI.
It's a main.
It's a may, it's not shall.
I think the main requirement that Senator wanted captured in here was the owner occupant
Yeah.
requirement. And they cannot sublease or rent to anybody else.
I'll give it. Thinking about 50%. 140% AMI is 201H. That's a
Yeah,
201H.
yeah, that's 201, it's 60% at 201.
Yeah, this thing, I mean,
Yeah.
this thing doesn't. You still need 201H to get those.
It is very likely that a project like that anywhere, even within Kakako Community Development District, would require 201H for the entitlements.
Yeah.
So that would trigger the 60% affordable.
50, but
50%
50% plus one.
Is it 50% plus one, yeah. For
140.
140 annual. One of the things that, we were discussing, when we were discussing with developers even before was, because it is a leasehold product, there is going to be a discount. There will have to be a discount from market pricing, right? And that market pricing, people, it's probably reasonable to be at about 40%. It probably would have to be like that, and if that's the case, then most of these units are going to be on the low cost range. Because, if you see that, if a two-bedroom or even a three-bedroom unit, market rate is like $900,000, and when you take 20% off from that, that brings it down to 600 range, right?
But you can't do that, it's you own the property. Even if you're willing
The
to
mics are on.
qualify resident. Right, and you own the occupant. We talk about, part of the problem right now is older people aren't moving out of their houses. And part of that is because they can't afford to sell them. You only get, half a million game exempted. Say you bought your house 30 years ago, for $500,000, and it's worth $1.5 million. You gotta pay a chunk of tax.
And probably, I think because of that, it won't encourage rich people who already have houses to, people who already have property, dwelling, not to buy into the product that has to, because it becomes available for people who don't own any housing right now. So,
Yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure what's. Yeah, I do have to talk there, that's kind of. But, part of it is, you're not getting movement in the back end. You got these old people, who live in a big house because they can't afford to sell it, basically.
that is true, Craig, to some extent, and the challenge is that, if you have a big house in Manoa and you want to sell and move here, that Manoa house is not affordable, right? So, for the new buyers.
Yeah.
You
But then, you can rent it out, or you can.
even rents won't be affordable for those types of residences.
Somebody will pay that rent, or.
Somebody will.
Or your kids can move there,
Somebody will, but
Let's see, anybody else on?
it's, I think part of the, this might be. Discourage people who can afford to sell their units and move into condominium that's affordable. Because there is no income qualification, right? So you can have any kind of income, and there is no asset qualification either. So it's available to everyone, but because they have to sell their unit or their, single family home, to discourage those people to buy into a product like this, and it's going to be the first time buyers.
We were talking about that today. Another meeting, saying, thing is, those people that own their homes are interested in downsizing, they're excluding them from the market. They're the ones that can afford to buy these units. So they gotta, finance their houses, we don't do that. So I think we talk about that issue because we're saying that the first time home buyers, this is what that's saying, are the people who are least qualified to buy a home. And therefore, they need extra help. And they're not that many, somebody was positive that they're a limited number of.
Well, it's more than 50% in Hawaii, right? Because if you look at it in Honolulu, home ownership is only about around 50%.
But how many of those renters can afford to buy? That's the thing. I mean, if you're a light tech renter, it's tough. Unless you're in DHHL rent to own program.
That is true, but also, this is at the gap group too. When you look at 140% of AMI, that's pretty much the lower end of market, and that's the gap. So even those can't afford to buy, right? I mean, when you look at,
Well, then you have the flip side, right? You got people whose parents either have money or they refinance their house and have kids talking.
yeah, No, I mean, that can happen.
Do you foresee any kind of restrictions on gift funds, purchase of the units?
What the statute is, probably not.
This is no asset.
No, there is no asset limit requirement. It's not, so.
That's
So
what,
the key of the program seems to be that it's owner occupancy. So that,
if you link it up with 201H, you got, the 201H doesn't have a big prohibition either.
No.
Right?
and, yeah, and not even asset limit, right?
Mhm.
There is no asset limit. There's only HCDA's, reserve housing rules that have asset limit. And also has a gift limit. It used to have, but when I was the director of planning there, when we amended or put in gift restriction to only 20% of the sale price. There's only the down payment money up to 20% can be gifted, not no more than that.
Restrictions, if there's a restriction that you do not own any property prior to this. Is that,
You can own it prior, but you have within 6 months of the closing, you have to divest.
6 months?
Yeah.
We have that in 201H, is that what it's been?
All the administrative rules generally say 2 years.
2 years, right? Cannot own anything for 2 years. And it's like that for HCDA or not. In this one, it does.
Yeah, you can own it up to the date of closing, but you have 6 months to divest.
Tom and Lee, jump in if you have any thoughts. We're just having free conversation here now.
So,
Deepak, thanks for the offer. Actually, yeah, I don't have any comments at this time. Just lots of questions. I'm really just becoming familiar with the program this evening and need to do a little more research. But look forward to future conversations with y'all. Thanks.
Yeah, Lee, and if you wanna kind of get together on it and let us know.
Will do.
We'll have other public community meetings too, and then public hearing too. So there will be several opportunities in the future to provide comments.
Yeah, Tom as well, if you wanna meet with us, yeah, let us know.
With that, I think, I don't think we'll get any other people. It's almost getting to 6 o'clock, so we'll end the meeting here. Thank you, everyone who participated.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for putting this out there. Appreciate it. Great effort. Thank you.